YouTube channel. My name is Peter Sheikh Skyra, favored the smart MC, or you can call me Washimpundu if you like. If you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, the best thing that you can do right now is to hit the red button, switch on the notification bell so that every time I post a new video, you will be notified that Washimpundu has posted a new video. Well, after coronavirus hit the country, everything was shut down. The business, the schools, everything was put on hold. And so the good news now is that schools are reopening, and the date for the universities has been set and colleges has been set for 8th June 2020, and of course with measures put together so that every student is safe in those universities and colleges. And so students will be required to bring their own masks, hand sanitizers and soap as well, so that they can be washing those hands, sanitize their hands, and also cover their mouth as they are in those universities and colleges. But that doesn't mean you should also keep quiet about the happenings in Zambia. Students that are going back to school, don't cover your opinions with those masks. That's not the reason you are covering those masks on your mouths. So the schools are reopening, and then they have also put measures like no visitation of students on campus will be allowed. That's according to the Minister of Education, Dr. Brian Mushimba. No visitations, no squattings at the campuses, universities and colleges. The only people that are allowed to be in the schools are the students, and of course the lecturers that are supposed to teach the students. But then here we go, about freedom of speech. Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba writes about freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and the rise of social media abuse. This is by Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, and this is what he says on his page. He says, there is a raging debate about the exercise of individual rights and freedoms in Zambia. This has been preceded by another intense debate about the role of foreign nationals in the social, business, and economic sectors of our country. Things came to a boil on Wednesday, 3rd June 2020. Lusaka Minister Honorable Bowman Lusambo accused gospel musician Kings Malembe, musical artist Brian Wembia, popularly known as B-Flow, and photographer Chela Cornelius Tukuta of abusing social media and insulting the president. He demanded for an apology from the trio within 24 hours. He also extended the warning to other youths who, in this view, are in the habit of abusing social media. The three were singled out because they had released videos about the current affairs discussing the issue of gold or currency in the country and the role of foreign nationals in this subsector and other various sectors. Then he asks a question. He says, what is at stake? And the answer is, what is at stake here in the fundamental right of individuals to express themselves freely without hindrance, threats, or censorship, and the concerns around the abuse of such rights using social media platforms. Then he asks questions. What is freedom of speech? Freedom of expression. Freedom of speech is a principle that supports the freedom of an individual or a community to articulate their opinions and ideas without fear or retaliation, censorship, or legal sanction. Freedom of expression, on the other hand, is border right. It is a right for an individual to express oneself in speech, including artistic expression, such as paintings, fictitious novels, fictions, cartoons, films, dramas, picketing, demonstrations, and protests. Zambia is a democracy and has long enshrined these sacred rights and freedoms in the Constitution as contained in the Bill of Rights. Further, both the African Charter and Article 19 of the United Nations International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and the Human Rights guarantee freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and right to information. The Convention and Protocol prohibits states from interfering with anyone's freedom of speech or opinion, including the right to form, express, and change all forms of opinion, whether political, scientific, historic, moral, or religious, at any time and for whatever reason. Does freedom of speech and expression have limits? Every right has an abrogation and is not absolute. Many rights and freedoms come with responsibilities and limitations, such as incitement to violence or glorification of terrorism. Currently, under the COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen both Facebook and Twitter pull down materials and documentaries from their platform, considering purveyors of half-truths, unverified information, and promotion of conspiracy theories. Historically, national security has been used frequently by governments to curtail the rights to freedom of speech and expression of individuals and communities. Further, in the exercise of freedom of expression, one should not violate the right to privacy or right to life, should not defame, slander, or use hate speech on another. Freedom of expression should also not violate decency by promoting obscenity, pornography, or disturb public order, or violate national security, classified information, trade secrets, or copyright violations. Social media violations. In light of the rise of social media networks, governments all over the world are grappling with excessive abuse of these platforms. Social media refers to websites and applications that are designed to allow people to share content quickly, efficiently, and in real time on their smartphones or tablets and computers, and facilitates the creation and sharing of information, ideas, and other forms of expression via virtual communities and networks. But social media has brought risks, moral, social, and legal violations that governments are battling with to contain. The rise in cyberbullying crimes, cyberbullying, invasions of privacy, identity theft, the prevalence of offensive images and messages, defamation and slander has prompted government to promulgate rules, regulations, and laws to regulate social media. Social media has also caused the rise in suicide cases attributed to cyberbullying. Cybersecurity of personal information, data, and documents, and the possibility of breach of purposes crimes is also a matter of serious concern. So who has practiced freedoms? It is clear from the above that watching the videos of Kings Malembe and Biflo falls in the legitimate and responsible use of social media. The duo used their fundamental right to speech and right to expression to air their views and opinions freely on current affairs. But watching the videos and Facebook live broadcasts of both international photographer Chela Tukuta and Prophet Andrew Ijamadu, who styles himself as Year One, now based in Polokwane, South Africa, it is clear that they have probably offended various laws of defamation, slander, or cyber crime such as cyberbullying. It is up to the police or those defamed to pursue the matter for redress. Government in its public communication must articulate and separate the legitimate right by individuals to express themselves and the deep concerns surrounding the flagrant abuse of social media and rise of cyber crimes. Conclusion: the rise of social media will be to stretch the band on the rights and freedoms of one hand and the right to redress for those offended on the platforms. It is gratifying that both Facebook and Twitter social networks have placed community standards that help curb cyber crimes and abuse when reported. WhatsApp platform, however, has no such limitations as it is encrypted from end to end. And other than its efficiency in spreading information, the most vile content, including fake news, is also being spread on this platform. Zambia, like many countries, has embarked on a legal journey to regulate social media to make it responsible, safe, and crime-free without hindering fundamental rights as enshrined in the Bill of Rights, our constitution. Well, I don't know what you think about what Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba has posted on his Facebook page. Just share your video, your opinions. Just share your opinions of what he has said about freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and the rise of social media abuse. Just share your opinions.